Hey folks, I'm H2 and you're on the F3 channel. Hey, you know, the F3 millionaire mindset has the premise that if you manage 3 areas of your life, it makes it significantly easier to become and maintain being a millionaire. And the first point, or the first aspect of that, is managing your finances. You know, in order to become and remain a millionaire, you're gonna have to know a little something about finances. You don't need a PhD, you don't need an MBA, you don't need a college degree to understand basic finances, but you're gonna have to take a look at that particular area and manage it well. The second point is your fitness, meaning your health. It's gonna be imperative that you gain and maintain control of your health in order to be physically, mentally, and emotionally prepared in order to be a millionaire. The last one is your faith. And I believe that without a strong foundational faith, that you will not be able to be effective in managing your life, particularly being a millionaire. Because you might be thinking that if you had $1 million, that all your troubles would be over. I'm here to tell you that is not true, and it's gonna take some other things. And so when you have a strong faith foundation, it allows you to go beyond what's within your mind in order to manage everything. But all that just to say to you that wherever you are and wherever you want to be, whether that's a millionaire or a multi-millionaire, you're gonna have to manage those 3 things. What I want to talk about here today is health. And I've posted, a few things about health, but not nearly as much as some of the financial information that I've posted on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Google, or Twitter. But I just wanted to get back on the channel today and talk about health. And the one specific thing I want to talk about is your A1C level. And up until a couple years ago, well, not quite 2 years ago, but early 2016, late 2015, I had no idea what the A1C level is. And so I went through a medical checkup, and the doctor said, your A1C is high. And so, I said, hey, well, what does that mean, doc? And they said, well, the A1C is an indicator of where you stand in terms of blood sugar and how that is maintained over a longer period of time. And so my particular A1C level was out of range. As a matter of fact, I was diagnosed pre-diabetic. And I'm thinking to myself, what do you mean pre-diabetic? No one has ever said anything about this. And, and the reason why is because, and I don't know if it's ever been checked up until, a year ago, but in previous checkups, you have to do the pre-checkup fast, and you go in to the doctor, they, draw some blood, and they check your blood sugar, and in those reports or in those tests, I was always good because I done a pre-medical fast. So my blood sugar level at that particular point was low, but over a longer period of time, it was probably high. Now, mind you, I grew up a very skinny kid, and I struggled for many years trying to gain weight. So I would artificially boost my caloric intake in order to gain and maintain, a healthy body weight. And so, the bodybuilder, power lifter, regular, gym rat, being big is what it was all about. So I was doing any and everything I could do in order to get big, including, taking supplements, particularly the carbo drinks, which was, probably 1,500 calories per serving. And I was doing, 2 or 3 of those every day, in addition to everything that I was eating, including high carb meals. But anyway, so I thought to myself, well, okay, A1C is high, probably has something to do with me drinking all those carbohydrate drinks, particularly in the middle of the night. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a carbo drink, which was probably combined, almost 3,000 calories. But I would do that every night at about 2 o'clock. It was like clockwork, and I'd sleep like a baby. Anyway, so anyway, my A1C is high, and that's not where I want to be, and certainly where you don't want to be. So I had to start cutting calories. And so first thing I cut out was all the desserts. And then went back a few months later, got my A1C checked, still high. Okay, that ain't gonna work. So then I cut the carbohydrates, cut out the pasta, the rice, potatoes, and that sort of thing. And a few months pass by, I go back and get it checked, still high. As a matter of fact, it is now higher. So I thought, dadgum, I got to do something drastic. So I really had to, tighten the screws on my diet. I'm eating like a rabbit, lettuce and carrots and all that sort of thing. Really cutting the calories, and, actually lost some weight, so probably at that point, going back to the doctor, and I was down about 15, 20 pounds. I just knew that my numbers were going to be great. And so I go back in, get it checked, and nope, you're 20 pounds lighter, but your blood sugar A1C level is still high. And I thought, man, I don't know what I'm going to do in order to fix this. So I just had to continue the course. So, the point here is it takes time in order to turn certain conditions around. So I was of the mindset that if I cut this out, make this change, that I would see immediate results. And that was not the case, particularly for high blood sugar. So, it took about a year for me to turn that thing around, and doing some pretty stringent dieting, and no more late night snacks and all that sort of thing. No more carbohydrate drinks, and really watching the amount of sugar that I was taking in. And so when I started reading those labels and really start to understand how much sugar I was taking in every day, then the light bulb came on of why my blood sugar was so high. Simple things like yogurt, the peanut butter, the bread, all those things. Some of it was added sugar, and others was food that produce natural sugar. It's all sugar, and my body, at this particular age could no longer process those calories like I could when I was in my 20s and 30s and even late as my 40s. So I just want to put that out there to you folks that, one of the most important, tests that you can get from your doctor is your A1C level. And that'll tell you how you're managing your blood glucose levels over a longer period of time. So if it's out of tolerance, you need to do whatever you need to do in order to bring that thing back in check, because that is the first indicator of whether you're going to have a problem with diabetes. All right? And that is no fun for anyone. Just wanted to put that out there to you. Hey, I'm H2. Hopefully that'll help you. I'm signing off.